俺们这个愿力就是要把这个所有的佛经都翻译成英文。这么多年西方没有真正的出家人，为什么呢？就因为佛经没有翻译成英文，没有翻译成英文，西方人就不容易明白佛法这是一个最大的问题。
Master, he made it very clear that he wanted us to be doing the evening ceremonies in English. It wasn't equivocal. That's how we should be doing it. I think there's a lot of reluctance to chant those kinds of teachings in another language than your own. One of the reasons that I wanted to retranslate the Labei Chan, the Great Compassion and Repentance, is that it's a repentance. If it's not your own language, you can't quite get all the way down in there. But also, the main thing that Shifu emphasized was, if people who don't speak Chinese show up at the temple and they want to participate in the evening ceremony, and maybe for one day or for 5 years, and it's always got to be in a language that isn't their home language. I think that's a project that could be taken on as an important priority of the Buddhist Association, is to get those texts into good English, as soon as we can.
都适合这个西方世界。
把这个早晚课什么都改成英文。这个，因为这是西方，这个到这种的方式是要随这个地方的风气来所好。
And you have to understand, most of us didn't know Chinese, and we were looking up the words in the dictionary. And we also were learning Shifu's spoken Chinese so that our ear would know what he was saying without seeing characters. So we each worked at our own pace, and whoever got finished, then the teacher would certify it. Shifu was open, our teacher was open. We could go and have conferences with him and talk about passages, and he was very, very patient about all that. But nonetheless, you must know that the sutras that got printed in the early days were not going to be totally accurate. And what he said was, it's okay, we'll let you publish this now, and then people will come along and they'll be able to do it much better. So the second or the third edition of something is going to improve. He also told us, okay, if nobody, after a while when I'm not here, if nobody wants to translate what you do, don't worry about it. You translate it and you put it up on yourself. And someday somebody's going to come and look at your shelf and say, oh, look at this, it's a translation of something. And then it will be recognized. So he was very careful to have us not have publication be the goal, or how many we translated. So the first ones were the Lotus, the Shurangama, and he did small sutras. So the Heart and the Vajra were Prajna period. 42 sections was early because that was the first thing that came to China, and it's little vignettes, pretty easy to understand. But then the master started, after the Lotus and the Shurangama, he began the Avatamsaka. And that is still not all translated. He spent many years on the preface and prologue by National Master Qingliang, which is tough stuff, not easy to understand. And to this day, not all of the 9 doors or 9 sections are in print because of its difficulty and so forth. And the Avatamsaka is not completely in print, but we're getting close.
因为我有2种愿力，第一个就是翻译经典，因为我出家以后，我也常说过，我面对这个现在这个世界的问题呀，我就研究这各宗教的问题， 为什么天主教、耶稣教它就能那么普及，有那么多人信仰它？那么这个我就觉得佛教的道理这么高深，这么微妙，高不可测，微妙不可思议。这样子为什么它不普及呢？我发觉到就是因为佛经翻译的外国语文没有，英文本呢是少之又少的，因为这个所以我虽然不懂英文，不懂外国的语，但是在我有生之年呢，我愿意把这个事情做好了，提倡翻译经典呢，把这个经典能以翻译多少国的文字就翻译多少国的文字。那么这样这个你就不求这个它普及，它也就普及了。我们为什么不把它发扬光大？这是我的意思，我的愿力。我就不懂外国的语文，我也要提倡要把它做好了。